wasn't my husband who slept next to me last night. My name is Peter Tillman, and I'm terrified. I'm a physicist here in Toronto and teach at one of the best universities in Canada. I've had a very successful career and have been offered tenure, which I'm still debating. I was very lucky to be born into a very wealthy family and met the man of my dreams about 8 years ago in my early 20s. We've been married for approximately 5 years, and he's my everything. He makes me laugh, he makes me smile, he sometimes makes me cry. Who doesn't have that story to tell about their partner? And he's my partner in crime. That man that came into me yesterday is not my husband, and I have no idea what's going on. Christopher, my husband, left for a business trip 5 days ago. He's a patent lawyer and occasionally has to travel for work. He left Pearson International Airport and called me when he landed at Wasen't, Vienna's main airport. I have a bit of separation anxiety when it comes to him being away, and he has no problem catering to this. He called me after he got through customs and when he got to the hotel. Nothing long, just, "Hey honey, I'm here," kind of call. We always preferred phone calls since we text with everyone else and decided that calling would be our thing. I went about the last 4 days as I usually would, doing chores, teaching the couple summer courses that I've been unfortunately assigned, and picking out new colors for the kitchen. His mom is footing the bill for the renovations, so why not? It's her anniversary present to us. Yesterday, Christopher was scheduled to fly back to Toronto. He called me from Vienna after he got into the lounge at the airport and told me that he was super tired and was going to pass out on the plane. I was happy that he was finally going to get some rest after what sounded like an atrociously busy trip. Poor guy. He worked so hard. His flight was scheduled to arrive at 11 p.m., and I had an early class to teach today, so I decided to make dinner and leave it in the fridge for him, and then curl up with the poorly written physics textbook that I was editing for a friend. I realized that 11 p.m. had come and gone, and I didn't get a word from Christopher, but I just assumed that his flight was delayed. He had a layover in London at Heathrow Airport, and I know that they have some pretty brilliant thunderstorms this time of year, so I just figured that his flight was delayed. When 12 p.m. rolled around, I started to get more worried. But then all of my feelings were allayed. I got a text. I know that Christopher was tired, and that he usually doesn't sleep well on flights, so I assumed that he just wanted to reassure me that's why he texted, instead of calling me. He said, "Just landed. We'll be home soon." Poor guy was so tired he couldn't even type straight. I even got him a new iPhone for his birthday, and assumed that he was still having trouble adapting to the new touchscreen, having been a loyal BlackBerry fan for so many years. I went to the bathroom, took out my contacts, and fell asleep. I don't know how long after receiving the text I fell asleep, but I was out cold. A few hours later I heard the latch turn, and I heard Chris's usually heavy footsteps climb up the stairs. He went to the bathroom and did his usual routine, except he left the water running. I thought that was a bit strange. He's usually very particular about turning off the taps so as to not waste water, not because of the bills, but because the whole environmentalism kick that he's been on for the past couple of years. I was drifting in and out of sleep, but I wanted to see him before I finally passed out. He came into the room, and something seemed different. Nothing that scared me, but just seemed off. I have terrible vision and my glasses were not near the bed since I normally wore contacts. I looked over and his upper lid looked swollen, like if he'd been stung by a bee, and I could see a lot more gum and teeth than normal, and had a very broad smile, like he missed me and was glad to see me. I asked him, "Babe, are you okay? What's up with your lip?" He quickly told me not to worry, and it was just chapped from being on the plane. I agreed, and still half asleep drifted off again. About 2 hours later, I rolled over and noticed that Chris's back was towards me. Whatever, nothing strange. That's when I put my arm around him. He felt thicker. That's the only way to describe it. I know what my man feels like, and he just felt like a thicker, broader version of him. My general level of unease was starting to get stronger at this point, but still not being fully awake, I just chalked it up to nothing. This morning I woke up, and Christopher was gone. His suitcase was still there. He changed his clothes, but he was gone. I called him. No answer. He, however, quickly texted me back the following morning. At the gym. Loft early. We'll be home after you leave. Good, I thought. Maybe he could work off some of that extra weight I felt on him last night. I chuckled to myself. I went about my regular routine. I was just about to step out the door when I saw his suitcase again. He had left it on the landing by the door, and I guess he just wanted it there so he could sort it in the living room. As I was leaving, a faint, musty smell hit me. It was like as if someone had left steak out in the sun for a couple hours. I was already halfway out the door, so I felt like it was coming from outside, but when I turned my face towards the suitcase, it got so much worse. The smell wasn't a steak being left out for a couple hours, but a couple days. It reeked. I picked up the suitcase only to realize he had left his lock on it, and I didn't have the keys, so I moved it to the garage just so it was out of the house. As I was about to get into the car, I got another text from Christopher. I love you. See you soon. I texted back. When you get home, check your suitcase. It stinks and the handle has some kind of residue on it. I still find it strange that he would text. About 10 minutes later, after I got into my car, my phone rang. Chris was calling me. Hello? Hey babe, so sorry that I didn't get a chance to call you. You must be crazy worried. Why? Are you okay? Yeah, I've been stuck in here in London, just getting onto my plane to come home. Can you come meet me at the airport? I froze. I nearly dropped the phone and almost ran my car off the road. What? What do you mean you're still in London? Is this a joke? That's not funny, Christopher. You came home last night. I saw you. I spoke to you. Yes, I'm a heavy sleeper. Don't shit around. What's going on? Listen. He put his phone on speaker, and I could hear a woman in a thick English accent announcing, And gentlemen, this is the final boarding call for flight BA203 to Toronto. Could Mr. Fitzpatrick and Mr. Coleridge please come to the British Airways desk on the main concourse? I stopped the car. I was dead silent. What's going on? Who did I sleep next to? Christopher, get home. I'm scared. I need to see you. Call me when you're at the airport. Everything is okay. I just need to see you. Okay, babe, calm down. I'll be home soon. I should be there by 9 p.m. He chuckled because he figured my anxiety was getting the better of me. I didn't want to freak him out about what happened last night, and the text and who I spoken to earlier on the phone. I'm going to work now. I'm not going back to that house. I'm going to the airport as soon as I can meet Christopher. If it really is Christopher. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm a physicist, a man of science, and none of this makes sense to me. I haven't been genuinely scared like this since I was a child. What's going on? Update. Final text from Chris. I'm at home, waiting for you. When will you be back?